That trolley is not carrying any hobbies. It is carrying a personality that somebody tried to buy in pieces.
It's your boy Redbeard here, you know, the internet's biggest Pokemon scalper. Hey, my Discord group hit me with that notification said Walmart restock. Man, I hit my local stock.
That's the whole shenanigan. A book, a matcha, a Stanley Cup, and even a camera. None of those objects are random. It's a ready-made, pre-packed person. All those traits just arrive before the person does. And that is what the internet did to hobbies overall. It turned them into props that people collect first, then they try to hide behind them later. Things used to be the other way around. You used to kick a shitty ball until it split open. You read whatever book was lying around the house, and you drank coffee because you were tired. And then you took a couple of photos because something in front of you was actually worth saving a picture for. Those hobbies came first. The objects that were surrounding there were barely filling up space for no reason. Now, the objects are coming first, and the hobby and the parts that you want get dragged afterwards just to make shopping look meaningful. It's just people being outsourced to purchases. Let's take sports, for example. This is the cleanest example. Sport used to be impossible to fake. You can't fake football, especially. A bad, destroyed ball, like horrendous. You've got two people wearing a shitty shirt, and then another one that was telling others that they were cheating. And that was your even sorted. That was all the evening that you did. Nobody needed the game to look expensive before it became fun. Nor did anybody wanted the hobby to arrive before with branded Nikes. Now, a kid can end up dressed like a Polish little prospect, or he's having a brand deal before he even learned how to do anything except stand there with these expensive postures for no reason. Parents can buy you some fancy clothes. Baseball takes the first place.
Youth baseball isn't a pastime anymore. It's an industry. And for families chasing big league dreams, the price tags can be staggering.
This, again, is another example of the nonsense that has spread it around so easy. The children got costumes first. They even did the move. Sport used to give you the identity after the act. Now the identity gets purchased on day one.
Mile-an-hour fastballs. His family has already spent over $100,000 on equipment, travel, and showcase tournaments, all to help him and his baseball-playing brothers get noticed by scouts. But the Pences aren't alone.
Across the U.S., millions of families are pouring money into youth sports, to the tune of $40 billion last year alone.
By 2030, that number is projected to nearly double.
I have so many of my friends, Greg, today that say, Alex, if you were a kid today, if you were 10 years old, Alex Rodriguez would never make it to the big leagues. And I would say, why? Well, because you and your mother couldn't afford it.
But where does all that money go? Start with gear. Bats and gloves can cost $500 each.
And everyone acts like it's that much of a progress is not. If you look at books, they got hit with the same disease. It's just with softer lighting and a bit more fake and wannabe intelligence.
I did some damage, so let's do a haul.
I started working at the bookstore that I'm currently working at, and clearly working at a bookstore has done nothing for my book buying problem. So I thought since it's been a while, I would go ahead and show you everything that I have collected since working there.
This is my biggest book haul yet, and we're gonna do a speed run through them. A Merry Little Midkit, Night Weaver, The Prison Healer, because you guys recommended this to me and I always listen to you.
Reading used to be simple. You grab yourself a book, a chair, you take your eyes, and you read. Sorted. 2 seconds. Well, that's for people that are normal like me and you. Because the internet inflated everything around it so much that the room started doing more work than the actual pages per se.
I don't understand why people that have hobbies get made fun of so much.
I like restaurants. Is that a hobby?
It's actually crazy that someone wouldn't have a hobby.
Now, what you have behind you in the shelf matters more than the edition even more. The stack matters even more. And the actual reading starts to feel like something that people do occasionally just to keep up the design that is believable. Just to give you the impression that the whole set design is understandable. And much of online book culture feels a lot off. It feels fake. The hobby is quiet and private if you want to read. You don't go posting, oh, I read a book. No, those sound like props that are loud and maybe useful. That's what you transform books into.
This is the very, very first printing of Fourth Wing that came out. This is the one that I received in PR from the publisher. The scribe arc, which I got from means that will never be shared. Anyone, every single person on the internet knows that paperback size, and I just learned this morning, but it has the same exact bonus chapters.
A shelf that it's stacked with books is gonna photograph better than the concentration that you need to read a book will ever. And a special edition is gonna say more online than actually finishing some silly book that nobody ever heard of. So the shopping around the reading again gets promoted until it starts replicating by the reading itself. You got What I Need to Read hauls, piles of books that nobody reads. They just want the book that says something about themselves. They want the shelf to look so deep that you can see Adele rolling in. They just want the stack to look even more emotionally complicated so that you don't understand how they are as a person. And they want strangers to walk into their room and assume that this is a rich and inner life that somewhere nearby has piled up. Meanwhile, that book is still shut that you bought and you never read. It's just sitting there like an unpaid actor in a very expensive performance of intelligence. You used to read The Thing. Now people decorate the mood around reading and pray that that idea counts. And another thing, if you look around and you know about coffee, that is the adult version. Coffee, and yet the internet managed to turn it down into costume theater. It used to be a drink. You were tired. You just drank it. Life remained annoying. End of story. Then some genius decided to get a grinder, a machine and now he speaks about coffee like he spent 6 months in Milan getting spiritually reconstructed by an espresso. Milan, obviously, is where people perform coffee culture. The coffee itself does not grow there. And if you say that coffee grows in Italy, coffee grows on a coffee belt, if you're actually interested in that, which is around the equator. In countries that actually produce the thing, while some guy in neutral tone kitchen plays being aristocrat over it. That is why it makes this stupid. All that expensive setup that you're seeing here, all this expensive grinder, machines, everything, is doing the hard work. The machine is gonna say taste, his ritual may be discipline, and the language that he uses sometimes sounds that he has experience. Suddenly, an ordinary man with a cafe independence is gonna talk to you about body and finish and hints, like he's presenting some stupid evidence at the Hague that gives you a cup that still tastes like coffee wearing a blazer or just coffee with hot water. That's not a coffee. And yes, some people, you have some of them that genuinely know coffee. Fine. Those guys are not the target because they don't make stupid videos. The target is the people that bought the machine first and then they think, oh, the personality came second. That's not meant to be tasted like that. You do not want coffee. You just want the version of yourself that has coffee sorted up and you pretend to be this educated dude. It's the same disease, same structure, just a different object. And that is what it keeps happening all the time. Practice is actually ugly. Repetition is slow and it takes a lot of time. Where, if you go and you shop, that's instant. You get a haul posted online with people that prefer shopping sprees rather than patience. So people from the start, they want to go the whole process and do it backwards. Build shells, the clues, evidence, costumes, everything that you want, just so they can become this thing that the internet turns up and justifies their own receipt. Well, sometimes it does. And a lot of time is just a room full of expensive hits. And that's why modern hobbies, a lot of them now feel hollow. You're not always looking at obsession. Half the time you are looking at the packaging pretending to be an obsession. And that trolley that you see here, that's the whole diagnosis. A book to imply depth, then slap a camera to imply that that person has creativity, a matcha to imply that you're balanced and you have control, and a Stanley Cup to imply that life is somehow in order. Those things are not a hobby. It's a cover-up story. You used to do the thing and you let the hobby shape you. Now people buy the shape first and stand there waiting for the hobby to move like a tenant that never signed the lease. Just play your sport, read your book, drink your coffee, and just shut up. Because once the stuff around the hobby becomes more exciting than the hobby itself, the hobby is already dead. And all that is left is just the packaging.
I'm kinda cool, 14, the bitch get loose. She tryna win, I beat her by the house. I beat her in, it's 40 in the car. I let her spin, when the doors lit, better call in.